right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called The Punisher, 1989. I'm giving this 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was pretty decent. See what the poster says. Judge, jury, executioner, all in a day's work. Dolph Lundgren, The Punisher. We like Dolph Lundgren on this channel. Most of his movies get 4 or 5 stars out of 5 stars. The Punisher is a 1989 U.S. action film directed by Mark Goldblatt, written by Boaz Yakin, and starring Dolph Lundgren and Louis Gossett Jr. Those are the only 2 names that I recognize in this one. Mark Goldblatt, I just realized he's the editor. He's the film editor of so many familiar movies, like The Howling, what else? Commando, Rambo: First Blood Part 2, you've got Predator 2. Oh, you got Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Universal Soldier, Showgirls, Detroit Rock City, Exorcist: The Beginning, the SpongeBob movie Sponge Out of Water, Chapey, and the Death Wish remake. So many movies, man. Holy cow. I put all his names in. A lot of those that I mentioned, some of them I haven't even seen yet, but they are in my Netflix queue somewhere. Based on the Punisher character from Marvel Comics, the film changes some details of the character's origin and eliminates the signature skull logo instead. I always liked the comic book because it had that cool-looking skull superhero outfit. I didn't know what it meant. I never read the comics. I don't even know if I collected the Punisher back in the 80s. The comic books, I mean. The Punisher uses a knife with a skull on its pommel. It was shot in Sydney, co-starring Joran Krabby. I don't know who he is. Did a bunch of lamestream movies, I guess. Kim Miori. I like her, but she doesn't reveal herself. There is a strip bar scene, though. Nancy Everhard and Barry Otto. Lots of cool explosions, strip bar scene, and what else? An incomprehensible plot, if you can call it that. Bad acting. Well, it's got Dolph Lundgren. What do you expect? The ending was great. I loved it. It's distributed by the production company's New World Pictures, which is Roger and Jean Corman's company. What does it say here? New World Pictures is a producer and distributor of motion pictures. It was distributed by New World International. In the international market, in the North American market, it was distributed by Live Entertainment, also known as Artisan Entertainment. New World Pictures is also known as New World Pictures Limited. Release dates October 5th, 1989 in West Germany, April 25th, 1991 in the United States. So it took 2 years to get it. released in the United States. Running time 89 minutes. Budget of $9 million. So this is kind of $9 million is a lot of money for a Roger Corman film. But on the other hand, I guess Marvel Comics hadn't become popular yet, so they had to resort to relatively low budget movies. Even though $9 million is a lot of money, at least on this channel. Frank Castle is a former undercover police detective and U.S. Marine whose wife Julie was killed 5 years ago, along with their 2 daughters, by a mafia car bomb intended for Frank, who is also presumed to be dead. None of this was explained in the movie, but I'm glad that it's on Wikipedia, because now I understand. Castle has since become the city's most wanted and most mysterious vigilante, known only as the Punisher. He now lives in the city's labyrinthine sewer system. And he doesn't shave. He's got bags under his eyes. Dolph Lundgren. Dolph Lundgren was perfect for the Punisher. Having assassinated 125 mobsters, not counting henchmen, in the past 5 years, his work is known by the use of special throwing knives engraved with a skull. I don't know where he gets all this money to do vigilante work. He's like Charles Bronson in Death Wish. He's a wannabe Charles Bronson. Castle's sole ally in his one-man war against organized crime is Shake, taken from Shakespeare and the Shakes, a stage performer turned derelict who typically speaks in rhyme. I don't know what's going on with the Shake character. He looks like a hobo from San Francisco Tenderloin. And he's fumbling with the bomb switch. It falls underneath the grate, so he just shoots it with a gun. That was great. The underworld families have become so weakened by the Punisher's guerrilla warfare that Kingpin Gianni Franco is forced out of retirement. Hey, Adrian's in the chat room. I haven't heard from Adrian in ages. Have a drink on me, Adrian. Says, hello, I've had a few beers. Hello, he's all good. Yeah. Who's all good? Dolph Lundgren? The underworld families have become so weakened by the Punisher's guerrilla warfare that Kingpin Gianni Franco is forced out of retirement. Franco plans to unify the decimated families. However, this attracts unwanted attention from Yakuza, Asia's most powerful crime syndicate, led by Lady Tanaka. We like Lady Tanaka. She's got some lesbian foo artwork going on in her criminal lair. The Yakuza decide to take over the mafia families and all of their interests. In order to sway the mobsters to their cause, they kidnap their children and hold them for ransom. Again, I wouldn't know this by watching the movie. The sound was very poor on this disc, by the way. Let me show you what I got coming down, what I got from Netflix, because this is important. I'm only doing 5 reviews today because I got to watch Renegade. This is an Adrian recommendation. This one's called The Russian Specialist. Adrian recommendation. Coming up next, Dolph Lundgren. Adrian's been mentioning this one for years. Every time I do a Dolph Lundgren movie, Adrian mentions it again. There's Devil Girl from Mars. Another great looking disc. That's coming up after The Russian Specialist. Adrian's drunk. Which is not unusual for weekends. But at least he's still checking out my channel once a week. We'll give him credit for taking a break, or maybe he's not taking a break. He's taking a little sippy poos while he watches my video. All right. Snake pleads with the Punisher to save the children who are likely to be sold into the Arab slave trade. Oh, white slavery. Okay. Regardless of whether the mafia gives in to their demands, the Punisher attacks Yakuza businesses, warning that for every day the children are held in captivity, he will inflict heavy costs on them and property damage. Yeah, like exploding their houses. The Yakuza later capture the Punisher and Shake, and they attempt to torture them into submission with the stretcher rack. But the Punisher breaks free, and he decides the only course of action is a direct rescue. He is able to save most of the children and commandeers a bus to get the kidnapped children to safety. However, prior to this, Tommy Franco, the son of Gianni Franco, has been taken away to Yakuza headquarters. When driving the busload of kids, the Punisher runs into a police roadblock and he is arrested. While in custody, Castle is reunited with one of his old partners, Louis Gossett Jr., who warns his multiple killings will likely get him executed. However, at a later point, Castle is broken out of jail by Franco's men. Franco admits that he brought this on himself, as the hit on Castle's family was an error, and he persuades the Punisher to help him save his son. Castle agrees to work with his old enemy for the sake of stopping the Yakuza from taking root in America, U.S., I should say. Franco and the Punisher raid the Yakuza headquarters to fight and to kill all the Yakuza, including Lady Tanaka and her daughter. Upon being reunited with his son, Franco betrays the Punisher, but the Punisher defends himself and he kills Franco. Franco's son, Tommy, then threatens the Punisher for killing his father, but he cannot bring himself to take revenge. Castle warns Gianni Franco's son, Tommy Franco, to stay a good boy and grow up to be a good man, not following his father's misdeeds. He also warns he will return should the boy commit any crimes, then he disappears. The police arrive only to find no trace of the Punisher. He's standing on top of the building, staring at the edge, like he's going to jump. But then the next sign, he's back. The next what is Adrian typing, like one word for each chat? One or two words. He says, I'm drunk. Sorry, mate. Great boy. Adrian's been missing from my channel for the longest time. I guess he's got a drinking problem, like my coworker. She goes to the bar, and then next week and the next day she's got a headache. She's running late for work. She wants to drink coffee. Oh, one of those days. Even her boss, the vice president of the company, one of two, I believe, the good-looking one, although she's married with kids, she had two coffees. She went to Starbucks. She wasn't going to drink my coffee, the pot that I made in the morning. Anyways, production. Christopher Lambert was the original choice for the role of Frank Castle. Oh, This would have been a better movie if Christopher Lambert had been in it, but an ankle injury forced him to withdraw. Steven Seagal was interested in the role. I don't know if Steven Seagal would have been better, but I did like the fight scene between the Blondie and the Punisher, Dolph Lundgren. It kind of reminded me of Katnia Sassoon and Don the Dragon Wilson. Nicole Kidman was initially cast. Contrary to rumors, Michael Paré was not considered for the role of Frank Castle. I don't even know who Michael Paré is. Another lamestream movie actor. In 1989, Dolph Lundgren revealed that he was trying something different and he liked The Punisher. Production took place in Sydney, Australia. Sorry, let's hook up. I love wine. Yes. Yesy, yes. Adrian is having problems typing. I wonder what kind of wine is it? Is it Night Train? Gallo? All right. Music. A full orchestral score was composed and conducted by Dennis Draith at the Warner Brothers Soundstage in Burbank, California. The CD of the soundtrack was not released until January 19, 2005. That's like 16 years later. Perseverance Records, PRD006. The CD includes the complete multi-track stereo recording and a 22-minute interview with the composer Dennis Draith and the director Mark Goldblatt. We talked about Mark Goldblatt. He's been the editor of so many movies that I've seen. It's not even funny. Perseverance Records released a new 5.1 mix as a super audio CD in collaboration with Tarantula Records. What a name, Tarantula Records. The US DVD release only contains a mono soundtrack, though the film has Dolby Stereo. I don't think the disc that I had sounded like Dolby Stereo. It was very bad sound. The 2003 German and UK Blu-ray DVD editions were presented with 2.0 and 5.1 Dolby Digital and DTS HDMA soundtracks. The UK disc was made from mono tracks. All right. So in this case, I think it's safe to say Karate Man, even though Adrian's in the chat room. Shiraz Cabernet Sauvignon. I don't even know what that is, but I guess it tastes good. Nothing wrong with a little nightcap, I guess. But if you drink too much of it, it feels like somebody hit you over the head with a hammer the following morning. All right. Theatrical. The film was given a worldwide theatrical release except in the United States, Sweden, and South Africa. It was originally slated for a U.S. release in August 1989, and trailers were created by New World. It premiered in Germany and France in October 1989, and it was shown months later at the Los Angeles Comic Book and Sci-Fi Convention in July 1990. However, the film never received a wide theatrical release in the United States due to New World's financial difficulties and its new owners not having an interest in theatrical distribution. New owners. So I guess Roger Corman didn't own it anymore at this point. It was sold to Live Entertainment, now Lionsgate, which released it direct to video on VHS and Laserdisc in April 1991. It finally premiered at the 2008 Escap'em Film Festival in Durham, North Carolina, where the director, Mark Goldblatt, who's done great movies, as an editor, screened his own personal 35 millimeter print. He showed that again in April 2009 at the Dolph Lundgren Film Fest, hosted by the New Beverly Theater. Too bad I wasn't there in April 2009 to check out the Dolph Lundgren Film Fest. Overall, the film earned $30 million on budget of $9 million. Not bad. Review aggregate website Rotten Tomatoes gave the film an approval rating of 28% based on 18 reviews with an average rating of 3.75 out of 10. Again, Karate Man, even though Adrian's in the chat room, don't pay any attention to Rotten Tomatoes. We don't care about Roger Ebert or Gene Siskel on this channel. We give Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel the big birdie, along with Rambo Raff for life. The site's consensus states, despite the seemingly indestructible Dolph Lundgren with a crossbow, the Punisher is a boring one-man battle with never-ending action scenes. We like boring one-man battles with never-ending action scenes. The Punisher, Dolph Lundgren, is indestructible. All the bullets miss him. It's like the A-Team shooting at dirt. On Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 63 out of 100 based on 4 critics, indicating general favorable reviews. Okay, so you have a choice between Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic. Choose the Metacritic. Again, we said that about Universal Soldier: The Return, but I want to reiterate it. Christopher Nolan gave the film 1 out of 5, stating the film was marred by cheeseball sets and special effects, lame light sequences, some of the worst acting ever to disgrace the screen. We like Dolph Lundgren acting on this channel. It's so bad that it's good. MTV cited it as an example of a failed comic book film, complaining that the film omitted aspects of the character that made him compelling. I would have served better following closer to the plot of the source material. I don't know the comic book. I've never read it. I may have collected it at some point in my life because it was popular in the 80s, but I don't remember. Criticizing the film's storyline and acting, Time Out magazine concluded the film was destructive, reprehensible, and marvelous fun. I like that. Destructive, reprehensible, and marvelous fun. TV Guide's movie guide gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, praising Lundgren's performance and compared the characterization of the Punisher to that of Frank Miller's reimagining of Batman in The Dark Knight Returns. They further praised the film's atmosphere, calling it generally comic book-like rather than cartoonish. Yeah, I thought the Shake character was kind of a comic book. They made a hobo guy into the Punisher's sidekick. That was pretty cool, I guess. At least he's doing something useful. Dolph Lundgren ran out of his severance check ran out from the police force, so he's too cheap to hire a normal person. He has to hire a hobo guy. In 1990, New World promoted The Punisher 2 and an X-Men animated film, but the projects never materialized. Bummer. We would have liked to have seen those two. The advertisement of the 1990 tie-in video game The Punisher features images from the film, similarities between the film and the 1993 video game The Punisher include an assault on a casino by breaking through the ceiling and the female assassin. Yeah, we like that scene where Dolph Lundgren crashes through the ceiling and he ends up on that casino table. And he starts blasting everything inside. Only Dolph Lundgren can do that. In June 1990, a 64-page comic adaptation of the film written by Carl Potts and drawn by Brent Anderson was released by Marvel. In 2004, a reboot starring Thomas Jane titled The Punisher was released by Lionsgate Films and Columbia Pictures. I guess Lionsgate Films used to be Live Entertainment. If memory serves me correctly, if I can remember what I said 5 minutes ago. Anyways, in 2019, Lundgren reprised the role in a photo shoot. Isn't he kind of old? Like he's got man boobs now? No, yes, too much, great. Yes, we trailer park. Why? Yes, why? What kind of chat is this, Adrian? This is what he does when he comments on my channel too. All kinds of misspellings and typos. Well, I'm going to drop off my my Netflix DVD. I'm going to go walk with my son over to the mailbox, which is like 3/4 of a block away. We're going to cross the street. Watch out for the N. Judah Muni train. And I talked to the nice owner here in Menlo Park, and he's like being nice to me. He said the washing machine is fixed. I can go cook my son some pizza tonight upstairs in the oven. I got the burner and the crock pot over here. The mean owner said it was a fire hazard, but they want me to put it on a wood block, which doesn't make sense. The plug doesn't even reach that far. But I didn't want to argue with them. I just threw their nasty letter in the bottom drawer back there. And the nice owner's husband, Edwin from Menlo Park, he called me the other night and he said, we're all in this together, which sounded like some kind of COVID nonsense. But anyways, I better not talk about COVID on my channel. I might get my video removed. Wood block. Why would you put a burner on a wood block? It's going to catch fire. It's so stupid. Oh my God. These people are so stupid and irresponsible. It's like the Vatican inviting pagans and the piss Christ dude over for dinner or something. I don't know what's going on. Life is so bizarre in San Francisco, I can't explain it. All right. Well, that's the end of my review. I'll stop talking about Catholics stuff before I annoy Adrian. Speaking of fire, I got the candle burning over there. Can you see the flame? We're burning candles in this house. To hell with them. Laters.